Airfix Club, the Red Box 2023 edition. So let's see. The box didn't change its design, it remains through the years all the same. So let's see what's inside. The kit, of course, and a few goodies. A little bit less than in the newer years. So let's get that out. First off, the Flying Hours passport, where you collect your Flying Hours tokens. So that year's was a little bit thicker paper, so it's cardstock, not flimsy as the newer ones, but the information is all the same. Stickers, this time with that 2010s logo, which is a little bit more, I don't know what's the name of that glass aqua design that was popular back then. The new is a little bit more flat one, but yeah, still the same paper, other than the contour was ripped off, so you directly get to the sticker itself. Again, I don't know if those are waterproof, so I tend to use them indoors. Again, every club red box has this nice pin. Back then they didn't used to include the year. I think it was 2024 when they started to use it, or 2025, I cannot recall. But anyway, it's the same stuff. Nice to have it. That year's keyring was nothing special, so just remove before assembly, two-tone, red and white, same on both sides, but I like the gimmick. The remove before flight, like you see on the real airplanes, you can either hang them on your backpack or your jacket or your keychains. So yeah, pretty nice. The welcome letter is a little bit different than the new ones. It has a different back design, but it also a generic one. It doesn't include your name, nothing. It lists what in that box is included: exclusive club kit, flying hours, passport, remove before assembly, flight tag or keychain, airfix sticker, keep calm poster, which I come in a while, and pin badge. And yeah, as always, those are the benefits of the club membership. And the poster for this one was superb. So, and the remnants of that Second World War iconic poster, keep calm and carry on. They did this design a little bit spruce in the background in the dark red, but it says keep calm and build Airfix Club, Airfix logo. Pretty nice. It's also a little bit thicker than the one that come nowadays, so you can also hang it on the wall like with blue tack. No need to frame it like those flimsy ones, but I always like to frame stuff like this, so yeah, it goes into the frame. And 2023 edition had this really nice, then new tooled Gloster Meteor Fr.9. So it was a little bit controversial when this came out, because a few months prior, I think, or was it summer 2022, I cannot recall, the Meteor came out, but in the normal version I cannot recall which mark is it, but this one has a different nose for reconnaissance aircraft, and people were mad that you could only get that version through the club box. Fortunately, they did listen to their customers and fans, and they reboxed this Meteor Fr.9 in a separate box, which is still available. But anyway, it still contains one model with two decal options. Like I mentioned in the previous video, people tend to do half-half, so that's also an option, or just choose which one you want to build. And as the new box came out, they're also plastic to build them both. Or if you're into it, just buy two boxes of the same stuff when you get your membership. I don't know for the UK if it was available, but for the rest of the world you first buy the membership, then the box. So you could buy the membership and a few boxes of the club edition. So as standard, on the top of the box is beautiful box art, and on the sides is those schemes repeatedly with a little bit of information, and on the other side it's the warnings and other information in various languages, and of course the favorite thing to see on any model kit: decals made by Cartograph. And of course no flying hours here because it's a club box, but let's take a look inside. So I already went to this one, so it's not in the bags, but it should come in the bag as usual. And of course this is sold out on the Airfix website, so you can only find it secondhand if somebody is willing to sell it. So the instructions are folded like this. In this one, not like in the Messerschmitt on the longer side, but let's see where are the decals. They're here. Let's take a look at them first. So you cannot expect anything less than the best from Cartograph. So the only thing that can possibly go wrong or on their decals is on the design side, if the designer forgets to do something or does something wrong. But otherwise, what they get, they will print it and they will do it perfectly every time. What I don't like on the Airfix stencils is the numbers, and the stencils are always in the same color, so I would rather prefer the numbers in blue or red, but yeah, needs a little bit more concentration what needs to be cut out. But anyways, these are the two schemes, one on the bottom and one on the top right. And let's take a look in the instructions. Again, the modern CAD design one. I really enjoyed those instructions because they tend to be really detailed. It's always starting in the cockpit area. It's interesting that the seat has quite a few steps to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5th step is you put it in. So that's quite nice that they put all the detail in. So basically you do not need any resin replacement. Also a lot of details going on in the cockpit area, and yeah, what I like the most with the modern Airfix kits, 99% they're spot on with the decal, so there's no overlapping of the decal over the part, so that's nice. And yeah, they tell you straight away, landing gear up or down, what to look at, and how to proceed further. And they mentioned that it needs 8 grams of pellets. I tend to always put the double inside. It doesn't stray the landing gear. It's not like 10 times more. But yeah, better to be sure. And if it doesn't fit here, it should fit here, or a little bit of here, or in somewhere in front of the engines. It's only necessary to be in front of the back wheels, but only if the design allows it. I think in this case it won't be possible to put that in the engine nacelle, so everything needs to go beneath the cockpit tub or right behind it. And yeah, they proceed telling to assemble the fuselage and to proceed to the wings depending on the version and what needs to be attached. They have guiding holes, and then it goes straight to the engine. I really like the design of this. I don't know what's the name of this part, like the let's call it inlet winglet, but I really like it on this in comparison to Special Hobby because it's on the bigger part and you cannot get the angle wrong. When I built my Special Hobby Meteor, I got the angle wrong. It's like a little bit crooked on the left, on the right side, so when you look at from the front it looks ugly. Here you cannot make this mistake, so a great shout out to the Airfix designers and engineers. They really know their stuff, what they're doing. Of course they make mistakes here and there with other kits, but in this case they did everything perfectly. And yeah, the rest of the engine goes on. I really like that they put such small parts for the assembly of the fuselage with the wing, because basically many manufacturers tend to do that with the fuselage, and because the plastic needs to go everywhere equally, they tend to overdo it, like to be too thick, and when you put it down it doesn't fit, and then you have a step that you need to sand if you didn't prepare beforehand. So I think this is the best approach for these parts, especially on those World War II era designed airplanes, also on Spitfires. And yeah, it gives a little bit more options for the controlling surfaces. And I think the tail was already on, and yeah, the rest of the engine covers comes on, and then the tail surfaces. That's good that they come in multiple parts. And here's coming to the end. So basically this is how the nose gear is built up, and the windows come for the cameras. Unfortunately those cameras are not seen here, so I don't know what they did. At least include one small cube there that resembles the camera, but I think with a little bit of scratch building that could be also achieved. But as far as I see, that's the only design flaw here. And I also think how they told here this to be built up, it will potentially make a step between the nose and the rest of the fuselage, so one needs to be careful how this is assembled. Usually the best approach is, when the fuselage is in separate parts lengthwise, is not to do the parts left and right and then put it all together, but to do the complete fuselage part, like for example first the left side, then the right side, and then combine it all together. But not sure how that would be possible with this part. Maybe attach it only to the one part of the fuselage and then try to combine it. But I think with a little bit of sanding that would be possible. So in order to not have that step here, because I saw many many pictures of people having building it up. Everything is nice except this line here. So I think this is the only additional design flaw to the lack of the camera. And yeah, then the front wheel is already on. I think that should be it, and this is the rest of the gear. Quite good that it comes separately from the wheel, so the caps are separate, can be colored separately. That's nice. And yeah, then come the covers, and I think this should be the front wheel. Yes. And then here is the option, either additional fuel tanks or a little bit of armament, unguided missiles. I really don't know the type. And here is another option for the air brakes. I think at least this part needs to be really tinted down if it's to be shown opened, because it's not that thick. That would be in real life like 7-8 centimeters if this is about a millimeter, so that would really stick out. But if they're done close, I think they're good. So either thinning down or PE replacement would be nice. And here they provide additional parts for the canopy and how to do it, open or closed. And then those are the last parts that need to be glued down with antennas. And also don't forget the pilot beforehand. And I think this the ongoing Easter egg for the Airfix instructions that included the designer had in the pilot face in the instructions. And here we come to the painting schemes. So this is the Royal Air Force, January 1958. So this is like a reconnaissance airplane. Standard painting, dark green, dark sea gray, and PRU blue on the beneath. And these are some research notes. So when photographed back then, it carried white intake lips and nose flash with drop tanks and pylons in silver. Overall finish would have started out gloss but weathered quickly to a semi-matte finish. So yeah, I think they're referring to this. And the second one is Fuerza Aérea Ecuatoriana, so the Ecuador airplane. It's later 1973. This one should be in silver. Yes, so it's mentioned here. Those are of course Humbrol callouts, so I think if you look technically, this should be an easily scheme to paint on, but yeah, working with silver paint can be difficult sometimes. But if you've done it once, you won't have any issues. And the last page is stencils, of course, my favorite. Lots of it. I can see it almost go to 290. So yeah, I don't know if they repeat the numbers. Yes, they're repeated, like 55, 55. So I can only assume this is about, oh my god, this is like 8 times 39 on one side and should be also on the second side. So 16 times only for stencil 39. So with that I can say 110s, maybe 120 stencils, but definitely in the 100 area. So I take about a minute for every stencil, so that's 2 hours of fun doing only stencils on this kit. So let's take a look at the sprues. So first the wings. So quite some good detailing, also a few rivets here and there. I think those are positive ones. Yes, they are. That's the recess for the air brake. And here is the bottom of the wing. And the inside of the wheel wells has also a lot of details. And there are guide holes depending on the version you want to build. It's also included there. Next sprue is the fuselage halves and also some engine covers and parts. So again, quite crisp pen lining, a few rivets, also some race details for the hatches. No riveting on those service panels. And yeah, on the inside, zero details because I think the whole cockpit tab is a separate build, so it did not had to be included here. But of course, really nice details on the inside of the wheel bay. And yeah, those engine fins look really nice. Then the next sprue, lots of rockets. I think except those three parts, everything is for the rocket, so I won't be building that, so I will be using only these parts, but if one wants to build it, it's all included. The next sprue contains other details, the pilot, the rest of the landing gear, the seat, other covers, and this is the nose for the standard version, which when you look at this one, they could have also included it somewhere, but yeah, they wanted to do two separate kits. But both are available today, so no issue there. And this is the last sprue. It has some controlling surfaces, the big central fuel tank, a little bit of flash on the exhausts, but nothing serious. Those are engine parts, cockpit floor, those wing parts that goes to the end of the fuselage, and this is the cockpit sidewalls. Like mentioned, they did that separately, so that's quite nice. And again, the wing tanks, they also have some positive details, which is also on the real thing, because I think those are the weld lines where the two parts of the real thing met, and they have to be welded. And yeah, they included almost every detail. Of course, no riveting on the whole kit, but other than that, I think the parts are superb. I also don't see any ejector pin marks that could be problematic. Every and each one of those are strategically placed, so it's all good on that side. And last are the cockpit. So that's the glass. So I'm missing my scissors here now to open this up. So the last sprue is to close the canopy. the glass parts. And they also did two versions here, depending on which one you want to build. So this, I think for the standard Meteor, it's frosted, so I think this needs to be painted up. But the other one, it goes almost to this line here. So a much more ability to see behind you. And the windshield is superb. No scratches whatsoever, no flashing. And there are also those windows. I think they just need a little bit of polishing, because that's how it is with small parts. They tend to shrink down a little bit, so it can be seen here on the light. But yeah, nothing serious. So that's it for the Airfix Club 2023 edition. It was quite a surprise to see that additional version. I know a lot of people were excited to get and buy it to get their membership just because of this kit. I was also one of those, and this was my first year as an Airfix Club member. This was 2023, so that's already 3 years ago. And in comparisons to today's prices, I mentioned in 2 videos before, for the 2026 edition, it came out to about 75 euros. Back then, it was like 15 pounds for the membership, and I think the kit was 20 pounds then, and also with the 10% it came down to 18, so that's 33 pounds. It was back then about 36-7 euros, and I think back then postage was like 8 euros in comparison to today's prices of 30 euros. So yeah, definitely a big difference. And I remember it was like 40 something euros in total. I think 42, 43 euros, if I can recall correctly. But yeah, math doesn't add up right now in my head. But yeah, it's almost the membership, the kit, and the postage included for almost the whole price of only postage today. I don't know what's going on with those postage prices, what's the reason behind it, but yeah, definitely it was more easier back then to get the membership. It was less costly, but yeah, that depends how much you want the kit, and if it's worth for you to pay that much. For this kit, about 40-ish euros was okay for me, and to also get all the goodies. But yeah, I won't go much more into that. That's the critic for the today's prices, but back then it was all okay. So what I want to tell in conclusion, I have no critique for this, or better said, for that year's edition 2023. It was all nice, and like I mentioned, this is definitely sold out on the Airfix website, and I saw here and there those go on eBay for about but just the kit, not the whole box. They go for like 30-35 pounds, and usually they can be obtained in the UK, because I assume every other modeler is a club member of Airfix, because they get the 10%, and if they buy directly kits from Airfix with that 10%, if you buy like, I don't know, maybe 400 pounds worth of kits, that's like depending on the size, like 10 to 15 kits, you basically get this for free. So it's worth to be a club member in the UK, not so much in the rest of the world. Until next one.